My counterpart's name here is Oksana, and it was really hard to communicate with her until last night, when both of us really opened up to each other and to the other people sitting around the table. But I think that I know that I've trusted her all along. It's just that it's more of a openness. You have to be open, and you have to be honest, and you have to let each other know that you're honest and that you want to be open.
The pioneer camps are different than the palaces. That's for the kids that are selected by the heads of the pioneer palaces, I guess. And of course, the pioneer camps are even a bigger step than the pioneer palaces, I suppose, on your way to becoming part of the Communist Party.
Dear children, dear American guests, we want to remember this day, and we want to remember this day as a symbolic day for both of our children. So now both American guests, American children, and Soviet pioneers will start to plant trees, birch trees.
Every time when we have something good, it has to end, and it's a pity. Come again.
We will.
I see.
I think that most of the people liked Odessa best. And there were a lot of friendships exchanged there, both boy and girl and girl and girl and boy and boy. If they would have let me, I think that I'd still be in Odessa right now.
Century, and that city young, gem of the northern world, amazing. From gloomy wood and swamp upsprung, had risen in pride and splendor blazing. I love thee, city of Peter's making. I love thy harmonies austere, and Neva's sovereign waters breaking along her banks of granite sheer.
And then in Russian, they say, Lublю тебя, Petra Kari.
On behalf of all living brothers, I should like to send you the best greetings to you.
I would like to present this banner to your committee on behalf of the Mansfield Elementary School and the... I felt really good giving that banner because I knew how hard the kids had worked and just all the love that was going through that banner to give to these Soviets. It's about a duckling who was born and was ugly, and he was made fun of and picked on, but when he got older, then he turned into a beautiful swan. My community made that, and I know the people, and I kept on seeing people's faces flash in front of me.
the group I'm all friends with, and I'm just glad those certain people were chosen. I have a deep feeling for all the kids, even the boys.
To go to a museum yesterday, and the museum really meant a lot to me. You know, I've never been to the Louvre or anything like that, none of those big fancy art museums, but that was first, and now I can say I've been to the Hermitage, but I expected more security. You know, I expected the painting to be, you know, like something by Leonardo da Vinci that they said was so famous, you know, and it didn't have a super security system. I expected it to be roped off in a glass box. You know, if you came within 20 feet of it, the alarm would go off, you know, and everybody would run in and get you, but it wasn't at all like that. And I think that it's just so interesting, all the architecture and how they used all those, all like the gold leaf, the gilding, and I think it would have been incredible to live in the time of Peter the Great.
In the olden days, it seemed like everybody was rich. I mean that, and so maybe people got jealous of each other and had a revolution.
I have dreams about going back in time, and I think it would be wonderful to go back in time and know what was going on.
I know when I went to that, whatever you call it, Pushkin Museum.
Is that Catherine the First or Catherine the Second?
First, I think.
While I was walking through the rooms, I just tried to imagine those people, because, you know, they had paintings of what they looked like. So I tried to imagine them just walking on the same footsteps that we were taking over them, and I thought it was really cool. Somebody said to our guide, did Peter the Great just come home and throw his boots off and just lay on the couch? And so I imagined him running in and doing that. It was really cool. I love the giant ballroom because it was just so big and so fancy, and the one reason why I've always wanted to travel back in time is because just to go to one of those big balls, because I love just fancy dresses, and I imagined it just this big ballroom full of people just dancing around.
And let's just take a nice big breath together and let out. On the screen inside of your mind, I'd like you to imagine a school building and just image all of these stories being shared in all of these classrooms.
Throughout the trip, we had storytelling preparation before we visited the schools.
And I'd like you to imagine a heart encompassing that whole school as those stories are being shared.
Okay. Once upon a time, in the hot deserts of Africa, there lived a camel. This camel wanted nothing more than to be a ballerina. So the camel did her pliés.
I think they liked my camel story because I make funny movements. I really do.
She was ready to call a performance. So she called together all of the critics and all of her friends. After the performance was over, a critic came up to her and said, "My dear lady, I must be frank with you. You are a terrible, awful, disgusting ballet dancer." Now this hurt the camel deeply, but she said to herself, "You know, I am a good ballet dancer. I love to dance, and I will dance, but only for myself."
I think that in a way they got that one because they have a story similar to that, except for it's about an elephant.
Well, my name is Paul, and I'm going to tell a story about a person named Paul.
I think that the storytelling did make a difference, but I think it was more of breaking the ice. And so in making friends in the Soviet Union, storytelling isn't necessarily the whole thing, but it is the thing that makes the friendships with the Soviet children possible.